Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In the last video, we understood what GitOps is, also the core principles behind GitOps, and the benefits of adopting the GitOps approach. Today we will learn about one of the most popular GitOps tools, that is ArgoCD and its architecture. Well, when we talk about GitOps tools, some of the most widely used ones are ArgoCD, FluxCD, and Jenkins X. You can think of these tools as sitting under the GitOps umbrella, where each implementing GitOps principles in its own way. And among them, ArgoCD has become one of the most widely adopted continuous delivery tools for Kubernetes. Now, before we understand its architecture, let's first understand why ArgoCD became so popular. If you have worked with Jenkins as a continuous delivery tool, this will probably sound very familiar. To deploy applications from Jenkins to a Kubernetes cluster, Jenkins itself needs several tools installed such as kubectl, Helm, or even Customize depending on your deployment strategy. But simply installing these tools isn't enough. You also need to configure access to your Kubernetes cluster for these tools to work. The reason is that kubectl is just a Kubernetes client. It does not automatically know which cluster to connect to, nor does it have permission to perform operations on the cluster. Before it can communicate with the Kubernetes API server, it first needs to authenticate with the cluster, whether it's a self-managed Kubernetes cluster, an OpenShift cluster, or a managed Kubernetes service like Amazon EKS, Azure AKS, or Google GKE. This authentication is typically done using a kubeconfig file, a service account token, or client certificates depending on how your cluster is configured. So in Jenkins, you need to securely configure these cluster credentials. Only after successful authentication, Jenkins can connect to the Kubernetes cluster and deploy or update your applications. Additionally, if your Kubernetes cluster is running on a cloud platform like Amazon EKS, there is another layer of authentication involved. Before Jenkins can even access the EKS cluster, it first needs permissions to access your AWS account. So you will have to configure AWS credentials in Jenkins, typically using an IAM user or IAM role. These credentials are then used to authenticate with AWS and generate the kubeconfig required to connect to the EKS cluster. That means cluster credentials, service account tokens, kubeconfig files, or cloud credentials have to be stored inside Jenkins. Naturally, the more external systems that hold cluster credentials, the larger your security risk becomes. Well, there is another challenge, that is limited deployment visibility that many teams experience while using Jenkins as CD tools. Let's understand this. Suppose Jenkins executes a command like Helm upgrade or kubectl apply. Once that command completes successfully, Jenkins simply knows that the command finished executing. However, Jenkins does not continuously monitor what happens inside the Kubernetes cluster afterwards. For example, was the deployment actually created? Did all pods start successfully? Are the pods healthy and ready? Is the application stuck in crash loop backoff, etc.? Jenkins does not continuously track these states because its responsibility ends once it executes the deployment command. As a result, operations team often have to perform several manual verification steps after every deployment. So, to overcome the deployment challenges we just discussed, we turn to ArgoCD. It's a tool specifically built for Kubernetes that makes the entire continuous deployment or continuous delivery process incredibly efficient by leveraging GitOps principles. In this GitOps model, Git is the single source of truth. ArgoCD continuously watches a designated Git repository like this Cognexa config repo. It monitors for any changes and automatically pulls those changes into your cluster to keep everything in sync. A quick pro tip here. It is an industry best practice to keep your application source code completely separate from your configuration manifest. Whether you are using help charts, Customize, or plain YAML manifest, keep them in their own dedicated repository. So we will be diving deep into Helm and Customize in later sessions, but for now just think of this Cognexa config repo as the home for all your application's Kubernetes configurations. So now the question is, how does the actual workflow look? Well, it's a simple three-step process. First, we install ArgoCD directly into our Kubernetes cluster. While A one cluster per ArgoCD setup is a great starting point for beginners, but keep in mind that ArgoCD is powerful enough to manage multiple Kubernetes clusters from a single centralized control plane. In second step, we configure our ArgoCD instance to point to the Git repository. Third, and this is where the magic happens, ArgoCD continuously watches the Git repository. As soon as you commit a change, ArgoCD detects it, pulls the latest configuration and synchronizes it with the Kubernetes cluster automatically. Here, ArgoCD uses a pull-based deployment model. It continuously synchronizes the desired state stored in the Git repository with the actual state of the Kubernetes cluster. This ensures that the cluster always matches what is defined in Git and prevents configuration drift caused by unauthorized manual changes. So you can finally say goodbye to manually running commands like kubectl apply or helm upgrade every time you want to deploy. Well, the entire Argo project is an open source. It includes ArgoCD, Argo rollouts, Argo workflows, and Argo events, etc. Many organizations, including Red Hat, BlackRock, and other companies, actively contribute to the Argo project. Also, ArgoCD is a CNCF, Cloud Native Computing Foundation graduated project, which means it has reached a high level of maturity, stability, community adoption, and governance. And that's one of the reasons why it has become one of the most popular GitOps tools for Kubernetes today. Now let's talk about the ArgoCD architecture. Well, there are several components involved. As we know, ArgoCD continuously maintains the desired state between Git and the Kubernetes cluster. So, to keep these two states in sync, ArgoCD has several components, each with a specific responsibility. First, we have the repository server. As the name suggests, this component is responsible for interacting with Git. It connects to the Git repository and retrieves the desired state of your applications. So you can think of it as an internal ArgoCD service that communicates with Git on behalf of the other components. As per the official definition, the repository server is an internal service that maintains a local cache of the Git repository containing the application manifest. Next, we need another component to get the current state of the Kubernetes cluster so that it can be compared with the desired state stored in Git. For that, we have application controller. Well, the application controller is a Kubernetes controller that continuously compares the live state of the application running in the cluster with the desired target state stored in Git. If it detects that an application is out of sync, it can optionally take corrective action and bring the cluster back to the desired state. Now, we need something through which users or external tools can interact with ArgoCD itself. Think about other platforms. For example, JFrog Artifactory provides a web UI and APIs. Jenkins provides both a web UI and a CLI, and AWS offers both a management console and a CLI. Similarly, ArgoCD provides the API server. Think of the ArgoCD API server as the front door of ArgoCD. Whether the request comes from the web UI, the ArgoCD CLI, Jenkins, or any other DevOps tool, they all communicate with the API server. Officially, the ArgoCD is a gRPC and a REST server that exposes APIs consumed by the web UI, CLI, and CI/CD systems. In simple terms, you can think of it as the central communication hub of ArgoCD. API server receives every request, authenticates those requests, checks permissions, and forwards it to the appropriate component such as the application controller, and then returns the response. Now, you might be wondering, what is gRPC? Well, you don't need to go deep into it right now. Just remember that gRPC is a high performance communication protocol used for service to service communication. ArgoCD uses it internally for fast and efficient communication between its components. Next, we have DEX. Let's understand it this way. Since the ArgoCD API server is the entry point for all requests, it must authenticate every user or tool before allowing any operation. Well, in enterprise environments, users typically don't log in using local ArgoCD accounts. Instead, organizations use single sign-on SSO. ArgoCD supports SSO using OIDC, OpenID Connect. which is an authentication protocol that allows applications to trust an external identity provider. This is where DEX comes in. DEX acts as an identity broker between ArgoCD and identity providers such as AWS IAM Identity Center, Keycloak, Microsoft Extra ID, Okta or LDAP. For example, when a user clicks Login with AWS SSO, ArgoCD redirects the user to the configured identity provider. The user authenticates there, and after successful authentication, the identity is returned to ArgoCD. ArgoCD then authorizes the user based on the configured roles and permissions. Finally, we have Redis. ArgoCD uses Redis primarily for caching. It stores frequently accessed information, which helps to improve performance and reduces the number of repeated requests made by different ArgoCD components. So that's the overall architecture of ArgoCD. To summarize, we have repository server which communicates with Git. We have application controller which communicates with the Kubernetes cluster. These two components retrieves information from Git and Kubernetes and compare their states. We have API server which provides the entry point for the web UI, CLI and external tools. Well, DEX adds single sign-on capabilities, SSO, and Redis provides caching to improve performance. So that's all for today's session. In the next video, we will install ArgoCD in our existing Kubernetes cluster and understand its components in action. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy learning.